Hello, how to fill out Form 940 for 2022 Employer Annual Federal Unemployment Tax Return. You will first go to IRS website. You can access the form through our blog as well if you cannot locate it on IRS website. But if you want to go through IRS website, you'll tap in the search bar Form 940. On our blog, we have the sidebar where you have federal tax returns. When you click on it, you can scroll to see if you can find the link to the tax return form you are looking for. So here you scroll down and you download the form and you download the instructions as well. So when you download the form, you will save it, and from our blog you can access the forms when you from the sidebar. When you click on federal tax forms and instructions, you'll be able to access it from there as well. So that is the form 940 for 2022. You will download it and save it. And let's see here. And that's from our blog. When you click on the 2022 IRS tax form, you should be able to access them there. But let's go save our form. Yeah, well, let's just name it Form 940 for 2022. And make sure you keep your business file well sorted out so that when you want that form, you can access it easily. Or when you want to go back and find whatever you save, you can find it easily. So we are going to open our form here. And if you went through our blog, we have different type of forms, and I keep adding more to them. So you can just scroll down and you'll be able to locate the form and the instructions. So you just click on the link and it will take you to the IRS form. So let's open the instructions as well, and I will suggest you download the form and the instructions. I think I'm opening the form here and I need to open the instructions. That way, when you do not understand a line, you can just locate that line in the instructions and read more about it. So 2022 instructions for Form 940. Okay, so how do you fill out Form 940 for 2022? And what is Form 940? Or what Form 940 is for? It is Federal Unemployment Tax. So who pay unemployment tax? Is it you or the employee or the employees? It is only you, the business owner, you, the employer, that pay unemployment tax. And you pay unemployment tax on the first $7,000 you pay in wages to each one of your employees. So let's make this form a little bit. Okay. So you will put your business identification number on the top part of page 1, and make sure you put the right number on the form. On line name, put your business name. And your business name, you can find that on the EIN application form. If you save a copy, when you file for EIN for your business, the line that says legal name, business legal name, that's the name you put on the line name. And you can just keep your cap on so that you have everything in capital letters. Trade name. So if you are a sole proprietor, your name, the name line will be your first and last name. And if you are an LLC tax as an S corp or an LLC, chances are your EIN application form will have your business name as the legal name, and that's why you put on the name line. Trade name is doing business as. So if you have doing business as name, you will put on the trade name. Otherwise, you just leave it blank. Address, you will put your business address, street, number and name, the city, the state abbreviation, and the zip code. So you look in at the right box, and if you do not pay wages to your employees, to any employees during the year 2022, you will check box C. Or if you didn't have any employee in 2022, you will check box C. If you pay wages, then you leave it alone. If you are an LLC tax as an S corp, you, the owner or one of the owners, you that work in the business, you are an employer of the business. But if you didn't collect any payment, any salary from the business, you will check box C. But if you collect salary from the business, you leave it alone. So now that you completed the business information section, you'll go to part 1. So Form 940, part 1. Line 1A, you will put your state's abbreviation on line 1A. So you have line 1B. So line 1A, if you have to pay state unemployment tax in one state, only enter the state abbreviation. So even if you are not going to pay state unemployment tax, you must still want to put your state abbreviation there. So line 1B, if you had to pay state unemployment tax in more than one state, you check that box and you complete uh, Schedule A. And you can find Schedule A on the IRS website as well, or you can look for it on our blog to find it. So otherwise, just in our case, we are going to leave it blank. So if you pay wages in a state that is subject to credit reduction, you check that box and you complete Schedule A. So we are going to leave it blank. There are some states that owe the government, therefore, the unemployment tax credit for business owners in those states might be reduced. So, and the instructions will have the list of those states. But we are going to continue. And if you want to read more about it, you'll be able to find it in the instructions. Let's go to page 7. And generally, unemployment tax is 6%. But you can get a credit up to 5.4% if you pay state unemployment tax. And for those states, and I know there will be some island included. Let's see if they have a list of them here. No, they don't have the list, but for line 9. Well, I was looking, but I'm not seeing any listed there, but yes, it will be in the instructions. So part 2, form 940, part 2. Line 3, total payment to all employees, and is pretty much all the payments that you paid to your employees. So you will need to file Form 940, you will need your payment, your payroll record for 2022 or for the year you are filing for, and you need the Form 940 for that year that you are filing for as well. And as well as the IRS instructions for Form 940. So we have Form 940, we have the instructions. Now we need a payroll record. And on our website, you will I have an example here that we can use, and let me just and you can design if you don't use a payroll software, you can use a spreadsheet to design your payroll worksheets. You can design your payroll worksheets and use that to track your wages. You can also find payroll uh, spreadsheets on our website under free download. And under free download, you will be able to find them, or you can just click on free download to go on the page and see the list of the free templates that we have available to see which one will work for your business. And we have multiple payroll spreadsheets. Some are simpler than others, and you can see which one will be more useful in your business, and you can customize it to your need. And we can come back to it, but let me go back to, I use a simple one for Form 944, and I'm going to use it to retrieve the total payroll. Okay, so for your total payroll, let's pretty much total wages is going to be 433.20. And when you are filing for 940, you can round or you can choose not to round. So if you have like, let's in this example, you can choose to put just 433 or you can do 433.20, and that's what we are going to do. And if it was $433.60, then we can round it to 434 if you do not want to show the decimal point. After 50 cents, you round it. Anything below 50 cents, you leave it like that. And the instructions should have the rounding information as well. So I like to have the instructions open. In fact, read the instructions and just highlight what you think you might find useful when you start completing the form and go back to. So anything 50 and more, yeah, you will run it that way. Okay, so now let's go back to our form here. Line 4, payment exempt from FUTA tax. So there are some payments that are exempt from FUTA tax. So line 2 will have all the payments and line 4 will have the exemption. So on line 4, you'll see if you pay fringe benefits and they are exempt from FUTA, you will check box 4A, for instance, and you put that amount on line 4. So because of those exemptions, when you are making those payments, you might want to keep a good record of what you are paying and what they are, so that you'll be able to know what will go on line 3, the total, and what will go on line 4, the exemption total. So the exemption total will be on line 4, and you will check what that exemption total includes for those 4A to 4E. And line 5, total payment made to each employee in excess of 7,000. Because an employment tax is paid on the first 7,000 that you pay each employee, it's good you design your payroll spreadsheet in a way that you'll be able to track payroll for each employee, if possible by month, and track the cumulative of it. That way, you will know for each quarter how much the total is for each employee that you pay, because you'll be paying FUTA tax, you'll be applying FUTA tax on for each quarter, and once you reach that 7,000 for one employee, you stop paying FUTA tax for the remaining year wages that you pay that employee. So based on how the form will be completed, you design your spreadsheet um, to help you complete it. To have those, to be able to record data on your spreadsheet in a way that you'll be able to find the information you need when you are ready to file your tax return. So in our case, 433 is less than 7,000. So we are now going to complete line 4 or 5. And if a line does not apply to you, you just leave it blank and they have it in the instructions right on top. So line 6, total line 4 and line 5. So those total that will be taken out of line 3, those total will go on line 6. And in our case, we are going to leave it blank. For instance, let's say you pay yourself $10,000 in salary. That $10,000 will go on line 3. that's the gross wages that you collected. So line 5 will have $3,000. So line 6 will have line 4 and 5 that will have that $3,000. So and line 7 is going to be line 3 minus line 6, and line 7 will be $7,000 when you take that $10,000 example. So in our example here, we have 433.20. Line 7, which is line 3 minus line 6, is going to be 433.20. FUTA. Line 8, FUTA tax before adjustment. So you'll take line 7 and you'll time it by 0.6%. And we can use a calculator here, and that will be 433.20 times 0.006. Let's see. Yes, 6. And that's $2.60. $2.60. And make sure you double check your numbers, and you could have that on your spreadsheet as well. Part 3. Form 940 Part 3. Line 1, not line 9. If all of the taxable FUTA wages you pay were excluded from state unemployment tax, multiply line 7 by 0.054. So, if you are going to pay your state unemployment tax and you are going to pay on time, maybe line 10 will be a line that will work for you, and you are going to complete a worksheet that you find in the instructions. And let's go to maybe 10. It will be at the end of the instruction, so you'll be able to find the worksheet to calculate the unemployment tax you will pay your state, the rate you will pay your state, and then the result of that will go on line 10. In our case, we are not going to pay state unemployment tax. There are some states that when you are an S corp, you do not pay unemployment tax on officer salaries. So you might want to check with your state. With my state, few years ago, 2 years ago, maybe I called them to ask question if I need to pay unemployment tax to my state. Well, one office sent me to another office. I talked to that office. That office sent me back to the office and sent me to them. So it was just back and forth between them, and it's just like people don't even know information they should give out, even though they're the one handling taxes. So, and I just hung up, and I will try it again another time to really find out more. But yeah, you can check with your state, because I know I'm not going to pay unemployment tax to my state. So I expect to pay 46% to the Fed. So therefore, I'm going to use line 9. So what line 9 is pretty much is what is going to complement this 0.6% to make a full 6%. So it's going to be 5.4%. That's why they want you to take line 7, the taxable FUTA wages, and coming by 0.054. So we are going to take 433.20 times 0.054, and it's going to be 23.39. So 23.39, and let's double check that number. 23.39. Okay. So line 11, if credit reduction apply, enter the total from Schedule A, Form 940. So we are now going to do line A, but I can give you a glimpse to that Schedule A. Oh, I'm on the free download here. Okay, so this thing has now opened yet. Oh, yeah, well, oh, over here. Let's go back to our free download. And let's go to IRS website. And when you type form 940, usually it will bring you different type of forms that you might need. So let's see if we can locate form Schedule A. I don't see. Well, we have to actually search it because I'm not seeing it here. I see Schedule B. I can see the instructions, but I'm surprised I'm not seeing Schedule A. In fact, okay, instead of just keep searching, let's see if we have a copy here we can take a look at. And in our case, it's not going to apply. So that's how for multi-state employer includes reduction information. So I think the top will be more for the multi-states. So they have all the states there. And let's scroll to, okay, they do have some instructions that can help. Credit reduction, I'm not seeing the states here either. And for those credit reduction states, there are not many of those states. So I thought they would list them here, but they didn't. Okay, so, but that's how Schedule A form looks like. So we'll go back to, okay, so the free download, we do have multiple, we do have like, this is a type of payroll templates we should have. This federal tax withheld calculation is another one. It might be the one that I use for Form 944. And free payroll Excel workbook is another one. And we do have the two here. And free payroll spreadsheet for 940 is specifically for that. And this one might be probably just for Form 944. And in fact, it could be the one that I use. But yeah, you can take a look at it to see, if you want to customize it for your business need or you just prefer to design your own. Okay, so line 9 is what we'll complete on part 4. So on part 3 or in part 3. So Form 940 part 4, line 12. Total FUTA tax after adjustment. So we'll take line 8, you'll add line 9, line 10, line 11, and you'll put it on line 12. In our case, it's going to be $2.60 plus $23.39. So let's bring our calculator, and I'm going to do 2.cc plus 23.39 is 25.99. So 25.99, and that is a number I should have in my payroll record. And you may not, it might be kind of small to see, but okay, let's do it together. Is now, in fact, to do that, we can just do equal sum. So you can see it's giving 25.99. So okay, so now let's go back to our part 4 again. Line 13, FUTA tax deposit for the year, including any overpayment applied from prior year. So if you make FUTA deposits, tax deposit during the year of 2022, you will, for the year 2022, you'll put that total on line 13. If when you file Form 940 for 2021, there was a refund, but you say you want to apply it toward future return, then that overpayment will go on line 13 as well. If you didn't make any deposit during the year, then you leave line 13 blank. If you don't have any refund that you apply toward, a past refund that you apply toward a future return, or you didn't make any deposit, you leave line 13 alone. But okay, so let's talk about FUTA tax deposit a little bit. So there is the instructions that will explain it well, but there is um, a threshold that when you pass that, you need to make deposit. So if your FUTA tax liability is more than $500 a quarter, you need to make a deposit. So let's say quarter one, your FUTA tax is maybe $200. So quarter is like January, February, March. So for those 3 months, your FUTA tax is $200. You don't need to make FUTA tax deposit for that quarter one. So, but you need to keep your record. So quarter two will be April, May, June. Okay, January, February, March. Okay, April, May, June will be quarter two. April, May, June. If you have another, let's say you have 300. No, let's say you have $350 of FUTA tax liability for quarter two. So quarter one, you didn't make any deposit because it was less than $500. So when you add that to quarter two, it's going to be 200 plus 350 is going to be 550. For quarter two, you need to make deposits for that full quarter one and quarter two. And so you continue doing that all the year. If it's more complicated for you or your spreadsheet is not designed to track that cumulative for you, then every quarter make deposit of FUTA tax for the FUTA tax liability that you incur for that quarter. Might just be simple for you if that routine will help you not forgetting depositing your tax. So and but if your FUTA tax for the whole year is less than $500, then when you are filing Form 940, you can just pay it with the form. But when you are filing your Form 940 and your FUTA tax liability is more than $500, you need to make a deposit for that amount, and then you you fill out your form and mail it without payment. So they should have instructions regarding that. I will um, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So you must determine when to deposit your tax based on the amount of your quarterly tax liability. If your FUTA tax is $500 or less in a quarter, carry it over to the next quarter. Continue carrying your tax liability over until your cumulative tax is more than $500. At that point, you must deposit your tax for the quarter. Deposit your FUTA tax by the last day of the month after the end of that quarter. So that means January, February, March. So that means by the end of April, you need to deposit your quarter one FUTA tax. If you exceed $500 tax liability for FUTA for that quarter one. So yeah, the last day of the month after the end of the quarter. If your tax your tax for the next quarter is $500 or less, you are not required to deposit your tax again until the cumulative amount is more than $500. So now they have quarter four liabilities. So if your FUTA tax for the fourth quarter plus any undeposited amount from earlier quarter is more than 500, deposit the entire amount by January 31st. If it is $500 or less, you can either deposit the amount or pay it with Form 940 by January 31st. So when you are filing Form 940 electronically, you can use EFW to make the payments if it's less than 500. If it's $500 or less, that's liability. You can use electronic fund withdrawal. That the software, if you are using the software to file electronically, you can use electronic fund withdrawal EFW to make your tax liability payment if it's less than $500. But if it's more than $500, you need to make a deposit. So don't make a payment when you're supposed to make a deposit. If you are filing electronically, don't make a payment if your tax liability is more than $500. You need to make a deposit. The channel used to make a deposit is different from the channel used to make a payment if you are filing electronically. So you are going to make a deposit using electronic fund transfer EFT via EFTPS system that IRS has in place. So you don't make payment through that channel, you make deposits. So you can make deposits via EFT, but if you are filing electronically for 940 and you have 500 or less tax to pay, you can pay it using EFW, and they have that in the instructions as well. But we are not going to file electronically, we are going to paper file, fill out, print it out, sign it, date it, make a copy for the business, and put the one we are going to mail to IRS in an envelope and mail it. So when you are doing that, if your tax liability is more than $500, you need to make a deposit. And then you mail your tax return without payments. But if your tax liability is less than $500, is $500 or less, you are going to make a payment. You can just put the check or the money order in the envelope with the form and mail it to IRS. So let's go back to our form. So we didn't have any deposits or overpayment, so we leave line 13 blank. Line 14, balance due. So if your line 12 and line 13, that's why you are going to do the difference of the two. So if line 13 is more than your line 12 is more than line 13, I repeat, if your line 12, your tax liability is more than line 13, your deposit, your tax deposit, you owe FUTA tax. So the difference is going to be on line 14. In our case, it's going to be 25.99. You'll notice that we are now adding decimal point. The decimal point is already there. We are putting the dollar and then we are putting the cents because we do not want to round. So if line 14 is more than $500, you must deposit your tax. If your line 14 is $500 or less, you may pay with the return. So you can pay or you can deposit it if you want to, but you can pay it with the form. So line 15, if line 13 is more than line 12 FUTA tax, your difference between the two will go on line 15 and that is a refund. So you can either request a refund to be sent to you or you can ask them to apply toward the next tax return. So in our case, we owe FUTA tax. That therefore is going to be on line 14. So we will go to page 2. Page 2, you have to remember to put your business. We can just go and grab it up if that's easier, but you need to put your business legal name and the EIN number on at the top of page 2 as well, and please do not forget that. So I just click Ctrl C to copy after I selected the name, and you put your business identification number there as well. So form 940 par 5. Line 16, report the amount of, let's go read it. Report your FUTA tax liability by quarter only if line 12 is more than $500. If not, go to past 6 and you leave line 16 blank if that's the case. But if you have your tax liability on line 12 is more than $500, IRS want you to list your tax liability for each quarter. So when you pay wages during the year for each quarter, your tax liability, now what you deposited, but your tax liability, your FUTA tax, that's 6% times the total wages you pay for quarter 1, you put on line 16A. So total wages you pay for during quarter 2, you will times that by 6%, you put it on 16B and so forth. So to have, because the total should match line 12. So, and you have to keep in mind that the states, they took the states, we took the states area into consideration before we came to line 12 here. But yeah, your total liability will total to that line 12. So before any deposit is taken into consideration, since the deposit is on line 13. But since we have less than $500 tax liability, we are going to leave line 16 alone. So line 17 is the total of all the line 16. So we are going to leave it alone and we'll go to part 6. Form 940 part 6. Do you want to allow an employee or pay tax preparer or another person to discuss your Form 940 for this year with IRS? Usually I like to say no, but if you want to, you can click yes and put that person's name, phone number, and the person will choose a PIN that you will enter. And again, it's going to just be related to this form and who filed it for on your behalf. It's not the firm of that person, but that person. Okay, so we are going to check no and we'll go to per 7. So Form 940 FUTA tax form per 7. So you will put your name, you will put your title, and you will put your phone number, and when you print the form out, you will sign it, you will date it, and then you make a copy that you file for your business record. And this one you will put an envelope and mail it to IRS. If you are completing Form 940 for your business, you leave paper power use only section alone. If an employee of your business is completing it for you, you are not paying the employee for this work, you are now going to, the person does not complete this section either. If a tax preparer is filing Form 940 for you and you are going to pay that preparer, that pay preparer will complete this session with the preparer information, the name and the tax preparer business address, the P10, that's the number that tax preparer renew with IRS every year to file taxes um, that they get paid for. So, and if the person is self-employed, they will check it, otherwise they won't. And the EIN of the tax preparer business will be entered here. So forth. But if you're filing for your business, you will leave that section alone. And if you are going to make deposits, tax deposits, and you are going to mail the form without payments, you do not complete Form 940V. You are done completing your Form 940. But in our case, we have $25.99 to pay. Therefore, we need to complete the voucher, Form 940V. And it gives you instructions on how you can complete Form 940V. So you scroll down, you will enter the tax due 25 and the cents is 99, and you enter the employee identification number that we have on top. You will enter on line 1 of Form 940V. You will enter the business name and you will enter the business address, state and zip code, and you are done completing Form 940V. So you are going to grab your business checkbook, you will write where they have payable for, you put United States Treasury, and you put the $25.99 or your tax liability on the check, and you write it as well, and you enter your business EIN number on the check. You put on the memo section, you put Form 940 for 2022, and you sign the check. You can use money order as well, but I found that when you use the check and you mail the form to IRS, when they withdraw that payment, that's another reminder for you, another proof for you that your tax return was received. And the check will have more space for you to put the information that needs to go on it, to be able to put it on it, compared to a money order. Things are kind of tight on money order, but you can use it as well, either one. And when you complete Form 940, Form 940V, and the check, you do not staple them together. You staple Form 940, page 1, page 2, you can staple. If you have worksheet that goes with it or Schedule A, you can staple those. Form 940V, stay all by itself. And usually they recommend you carry it. I just don't carry it. so that I can fold it in 3 and put a check in it. So you do not staple the check to the Form 940V, and you do not staple the check to Form 940, and you do not staple the Form 940V to Form 940. So you have 3 things in the envelope: Form 940, Form 940V, and the check. So 3 things. And what I like to do is I'll take maybe 9 by 12 envelope. I'll put the Form 940 in it, staple page 1 and 2, put it in it. After I sign it, date it, make copy for my business, I'll put the one that I signed in the envelope, and then I'll take a smaller envelope, I will print Form 940V, I will fold it in 3, and then the check that is completed, I will make copy. You will make copy of your Form 940V and the check for your business record as well. And then I'll fold the Form 940V and put the check in it and put it in a smaller envelope. And I like to write Form 940V and check payments. And then I'll put it in the bigger envelope. That way, those small things are not too loose moving around in the bigger envelope, but they are in a smaller envelope and insert in the bigger envelope where the Form 940 is. And then you seal it. That's an option. So, where do you mail Form 940? Now we are done completing Form 940, Employer Annual Federal Unemployment Tax Return FUTA Tax. So, where do you mail it? If you are going to mail your Form 940, you can go to IRS instructions for Form 940 for 2022 and page 4. So, are you going to mail Form 940 without a payment? Well, or when do you mail Form 940 without a payment? If you have filed Form 940 with no wages, or you didn't have employee, or you didn't pay wages, and you file Form 940, and total wages on line 3 is blank, you check box C, no payment to employee in 2022, line 3 is blank, line 7 is blank, line 8 is blank, line 9 is blank, line 12 is blank, line 14 is blank, you do not owe FUTA tax. Therefore, you are going to mail your Form 940 for 0 wages to IRS address without payment. So you will locate your state and you look in without payment colon to see the address that corresponds to the state your business is. And you put that address on the envelope. So another case that will make you to mail Form 940 without payment is when you make deposit during the year. So if you have wages, you pay wages and you make FUTA deposit during the year, and your FUTA deposit on line 13 is more than line 12 and IRS owe you a refund, then you are going to mail your Form 940 without payment. You locate without payment colon that corresponds to the state your business is, and that is the address you put on the envelope. If your quarter 4 or your tax liability is more than $500 and you are going to make a deposit, then I will suggest you make that deposit. You go ahead and make that deposit. You log into your EFTPS account and make your deposit, and you mail your Form 940 without a payment address that corresponds to your state. If your tax liability line 14 is less than $500 or is $500 or less, and you decided to make deposits, well, you go ahead and make deposits through EFTPS system using EFT, electronic fund transfer, and then you put the form you print out in the envelope, you use without payment address that corresponds to your state role on the address. So you mail the form without payment. In our case, we have $25.99 and we do not want to deposit it. We want to make payment with the form. Therefore, we are going to locate our state and locate the address under the column in the column with a payment that corresponds to the row where our state is, and that's the address we'll put on the envelope. So that's how it works. So if you are going to insert payment in the envelope, go to the with payment column and find your state and find with column payment address that corresponds to your state, and that's the address you will use. And when you are mailing your Form 940, mail it via USPS and request a tracking number. You will pay more for it so that you can track it online when you want to. And when you get those receipts, add it to your tax return and file it properly so that you have everything together related to that form. Thank you so much for watching, and we have the instructions. You have the instructions you can go through to see different things they explain, and the wages, what will be including the wages, the FUTA taxable wages, what will be included, and you can go through the instructions if you choose to. So thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiabi Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and NinaSoap.com, our blog, where you can find